So, I'm back at Tesla, which is actually great because I've got loads of editing to do and they've got really fast Wi-Fi and a nice comfortable lounge. They're going to have a bit of a look this morning at the passenger front seats and why the controls aren't working, and also this door handle seems to be getting a bit slower than it should be. Okay, well obviously not today, which is exactly what I expected. I thought it would work perfectly, because you know, sod's law. Do like a good Model X. I hope they can put my car on charge for a little bit because I need about an extra 10%. I didn't really bother thinking about how much power I needed, and yeah, I need an extra 10%. Remember last time I was here I was complaining about not having real milk? Tesla, always improving. Quick update on the situation. Firstly, I was wrong when I said they didn't have a supercharger last time I was here. They do have a supercharger, just not a publicly accessible one. So if you're here for a service or something, in terms of the car, basically, it's not an intelligent seat, so there's no information that goes to the car about the state of that passenger seat. What does go to that, however, is of course a power supply. And the connector that's behind the dash, the pin had somehow broken and it had come loose a bit. And I have no idea how that could happen because as far as I know, nobody has gone poking around behind there ever. So that's a bit of an odd one. Now, they don't actually have a replacement connector on the site here, though there is one in Gatwick. So what they're going to do is do a kind of temporary fix so the seat works, which is, you know, handy. Once they've got that temporary fix in place, what they're planning on doing is getting me a loan car, which is always handy. I haven't had one of those for ages, so that'll be quite nice. And then they're going to replace the connector properly so that it doesn't come loose again, is the idea. Right, I'm going to go see if my video's finished uploading, which, given the Wi-Fi here, it probably has. Well, that was extremely successful. And they just brought that in a couple of millimeters so that it doesn't stick out as it used to. And it's beautifully clean. Wow. Time to head off and grab Jazzy. And I'm charged back up to 70% now, so I don't have any kind of range issues. Right, quick update then on the whole service experience. It was obviously very good. What they've done is basically, because of this connector that the wire had come loose from, and it was a bit, the connector had a pin that was broken, and so they're going to obviously replace that. But they couldn't tell how that connector got broken. So was it when they were trying to diagnose the ECU issue I had 6 months ago? Was it just faulty when it was installed? And basically, because they don't know, they decided not to charge me for it, which is fantastic because, you know, and that's what I do find very refreshing about Tesla. I've always found them refreshing in that way, in that they don't seem to be constantly trying to make a quick buck off your various service or issues. That is very refreshing. Now, it's only a temporary fix they've done so far on that connector, so I am going to have to take it back there again, and it'll take a bit longer to sort of get that all sorted out, which means that we're probably looking at a loan car, which is fine, and that doesn't bother me at all. Always nice to drive any Tesla, honestly. One last thing that I'm going to hopefully get sorted out when my car goes back to Tesla is if I reverse with the wheel sort of sharply turned left or right, then this bit of tyre rubs against the inside wheel arch somewhere. and it kind of makes a little sort of noise. What should have been done apparently is when you change over to the 21-inch wheels, they just need to move the wheel back a little bit somehow. I don't really understand, but anyway, hopefully they can get rid of that rubbing noise on the wheel arch. I'm gonna get Jasper inside now and check this out. Okay, that door did not work when I picked Jasper up from school, so I'm kind of annoyed that it does now. But it's clearly on the blink, which is one of the reasons why the car is booked to go back in.
It's clean inside that.
It's clean inside and outside, isn't it? I'm gonna go get I'll get your motorbike toy. Jasper's been good at preschool. Actually, I haven't explained that yet, have I? Ah, well, that could be a problem. Banana? Yeah, well, in you go. Yeah, I had a bit of a screaming match with Jazzy last night. Well, it wasn't really a scream. Basically, I read him 2 stories before bed, and then he said, can you read me a third? So I was like, yes, okay, I can read you a third. Once I'd read him the 3rd story, he wanted a 4th. And I said no. And he basically just tried to scream me into submission. So obviously, I couldn't give in, otherwise I'd be giving in to him forever. The end result is now, he's got no toys. I've taken them all away as punishment. And he now has to be a good boy in order to earn them back. What's that? Yeah, I'll be in just a second, Jasper, okay? Right. So I thought I'd take this opportunity to go through the solar plan, quote unquote. Because originally what I was going to do was just coat that whole area with solar panels and then put a strip down the kitchen block and another strip along the garage bit. Now here's the problem with that plan. Basically, in a nutshell, they're not going to go for that bit, I think. They're going to say too much impact on the curtilage of the listed building. So the new plan is to try and apply for planning permission and listed building consent to put a strip along the top, just all the way from one end to the other, of black solar panels. So hopefully it doesn't impact the look too much. And then also the strip there and the strip there. The problem with this end of the world, solar panel wise, is as you can see, it does get some shading in the afternoon. If they won't go for that, as these bits are new and not older barn, hopefully they'll allow solar panels on that bit. The problem with things like planning permission is you've just got to apply. Nobody will tell you definitively whether you're going to be successful or not unless you apply. Now, you can get advice and all the rest of it, and that's partly why I've decided I'm 90% sure I'm going to go with Zanussi, because they have a guy there who deals with the planning permission side all the time. Basically, as far as I know, his job is to fill in the planning permission and listed building consent forms whenever they're needed, which means he has a lot of experience with what does or doesn't get accepted, and he reckons that that is not bad, you know, either just that end or that end and the strip along there, and hopefully we get somewhere with this. Now, I do have a backup plan if this is all totally nope, can't do it. Have you heard of a solar flower? Basically a kind of thing that comes out of the ground and then it sort of unfurls into a tracking solar panel, basically. I'm going to put one of those in the very top of the garden if I can't do this. And one day I might put one in the very top of the garden anyway, because we've got a tree that's died up there. And what I figure is if I remove the tree and put this funky solar panel thing, but where you can get those from is much more limited, it's much more unusual, and almost certainly far more expensive. Now you might be wondering, why don't I just put Tesla's solar roof tiles up there? Well, the problem with solar roof tiles is if they're going to eject to solar panels, it's going to be partly because it's got old clay tiles on it. Hang on a minute, Jasper. Not finished yet, hang on a minute. So if I replace the old clay tiles with Tesla solar tiles, it'll change the look almost certainly. and they won't be the original tiles, and many more of the tiles will get broken, so it'll be quite difficult to return the building to its original materials and design. So I'm fairly confident that's not going to be a goer. And the other problem, of course, is I'll have to wait 2 years, which I don't really want to do. I want to get solar panels up and running by springtime, which even with this whole planning permission debacle should be possible. This is the point where I am going to say goodbye for the day. I hope you enjoyed today's vlog post. If you have, remember to like it and share it and subscribe if you haven't already, and follow me on Instagram if you don't already, and I'll see you tomorrow for the next instalment of my daily vlog. Bye. Actually, Jasper's not in the car waiting. I haven't got him from preschool yet. I'm just going to monkey around with the editing just to make this a little bit simpler. And I'll probably put this little explanation in the outtake. Right, I'm going to go in and grab a coffee. Hang on a minute, I won't need that bit, will I?